Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're watching this. So, going through our big stories in Genesis last week, Tim taught us about Abraham, talked a little bit about his nephew Lot, and probably mentioned Sodom and Gomorrah. So, today I'm actually going to talk Sodom and Gomorrah for just a few minutes and get you on your way. Keep it short and simple, right? So, Sodom and Gomorrah, it's a town that we talk about a lot. Very interesting town. It's mentioned a few times throughout the Bible. First, early on in Genesis chapter 14, after Abraham goes and kicks some butt, they kind of mention it, talk to the king a little bit, calls him a wicked and evil guy, says he's rich. Here's a couple good things, but mostly that he's evil. And so here we are, a few chapters later, probably a few late years after that event, and these angels come and tell, "Hey, Abraham, you're going to have a son. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Promise." Also, by the way, we're going to go to Sodom and Gomorrah and go destroy it now. So see ya. And if you remember Tim's teaching, Abraham's nephew Lot actually lived in Sodom and Gomorrah. And so, Abraham kind of freaks out and goes, hey, wait, if you can find 50 righteous people, why would you destroy that place? And they just go, yeah, if we find 50 people that are righteous and seeking God, won't destroy it. Cool, good deal. And so they go and they can't find 50. So he goes, wait, what about 40? And so they go, sure, why not? And they go back and can't find 40. So then it becomes 30. And then it becomes 20 and it becomes 10. And well, they can't find 10 righteous people. So that didn't go so well. And so this is kind of one of the more overlooked parts of the story. A lot of times, people like to point out, man, their sin was about sexuality and all this pain and this and that. And the reality is that's true. In fact, that their sexual sins is only a part of the problem. As we read throughout Scripture as a whole, both in the Old and New Testament, every time Sodom and Gomorrah is brought up, yeah, it does talk about the sexual sins, but it also talks about their pride, their arrogance, their their lack of hospitality. I don't know what I was trying to go for. But there's a lot of sins that are actually spoken about when it comes to Sodom and Gomorrah. But the reality about this story, it's so interesting to think that every time God was about to give judgment, he wanted to show compassion. He kept giving them chance after chance after chance after chance and couldn't find people that cared enough. And then later, when they're getting ready to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, the angels ask, hey, is there any other family members here? Because whether they're part of the problem or not, we want to make sure that you get them out because we've made a promise to you. And they tell them, don't just run away from the city, but go out into the hills, out of this valley where the city was. And so even in the midst of all the God's punishment, we see the caringness of God, the compassion of God, because his first inclination was not to destroy the cities, because we first see them years earlier having conversations and people dealing with one another. And then here we are where it's if there are righteous people there, and I'll give them a shot. I'll go search and seek for them, but they're not there. And so God doesn't just jump into his justice and justified wrath, but he first shows his compassion and his love and his caring desire. Though he may know the truth already, he is slow to anger, as we hear about in Psalms and Proverbs. And we see throughout the Old Testament before this and the Old Testament after and the New Testament that God is slow to anger. His first inclination in sin is not to just punish, destroy, but honestly, he shows more compassion more than what we think. And that's such a hard concept when we talk about the Old Testament, because so many of us have thought and been taught for so long that the God of the Old Testament is doom, gloom, fire and brimstone, destruction, destruction, destruction. But as we read, and we'll study this more, God's first thought is compassion and how to save his creation rather than destroy it. Hey, we love you guys, and we're going to keep doing a couple of these videos until we officially make our comeback on Sunday mornings. Sunday morning services will be changing May 10th and the 17th, and hopefully as we get to continue after the 17th. More and more people will become available. More and more events will be available for us to start doing maybe things as live Sunday morning discipleship and an in-person Wednesday night, and start some of our events back up, because we miss you guys. We love you guys. We'll be texting you, sending you some stuff, and we can't wait for this to be over.